So check it out. I'm going to go over a quarter time, kind of like a quarter time 3D variation. So to be comfortable with this and be able to build up to it and kind of work with the ideas that we're going to be talking about in the shoot tutorial, you need to be comfortable with the ideas of quarter time. You don't have to be really comfortable with a lot of the fancy ideas, but basically being comfortable with the stacking concept, with them pendling them in from side to side, and being comfortable with going up and over with them from side to side into that pendulum motion back and forth. That'll help you out a lot. So if you know that, great. If you don't, play with that a little bit, kind of get that ground down into muscle memory. You also should be comfortable with the down parts as well, and coming across the bottom on those anti-spins to side. This will help you out gratefully. Because what we're going to do is, instead of just leaving quarter time in this wall plane, we're going to add in some extension points where they're going to come into the horizontal plane. We're going to use a couple ideas. We're going to use one where it comes a quarter time in front of us, kind of up and down in front of us, and then back to the other side. Then we're going to use one that comes out in front of us, in towards us, down, then back out and across. So, a lot of quarter stuff is really kind of weird. So what we're going to jump into is working with it with the same time. So in same time, but still using the quadrants of quarter time, which, if you're familiar with, are the ideas of breaking the 4-point grid in front of you into quarters. You know, just one corner, another corner, another corner, another corner. So we're going to be using that, but we're also be using that in front of us as well. We're going to use from my left hand to my right hand forward, and the same here. So we're using these spaces and these points in front of us as the spaces where we're going to be doing plane breaking in a sense. So let's jump into what it actually looks like when we're doing quarter time. So we're going to start from quarter time from whatever side you want. And we're going to bend by going forward. So this is the top half. Not too crazy, not too bad. This is the bottom half. Okay? So what we're going to do, instead of doing it in quarter time, we're going to do it in same time, together time, I guess you'd say. So begin in your quarter time here. All right? So as the pointer about to pendulum up, bring them over your shoulder and forward out. Let them pendulum towards your body. And when they come towards your body again, or up, we're going to come across, back to the side. So go play with this idea of just drilling these up points, of up, over the arms, up, over the arms, up, over the arms, up. Something you want to be familiar with is when you come over the arm from these points to the center points, as well from the center to the sides, you want to be comfortable with the actual ability to stall straight over it. And then get comfortable with drilling that with one hand. You know, get comfortable with the pendulum over, up, over, and back and forth from side to side. Now what that looks like from the side here is this. So we'll go from here. Right? Sure. So the things that are really important here is get that clean pass over the arms and forward and up, over the arms and then back to center and up. Now something you want to work on as well is the stall point to the side where they're both coming in, because the next step of the stall point for the top half is going to be doing it in quarter time, so they're going to be kind of split. Now you can kind of embellish this as much as you want. You can bring these straight up if you want, or you can try and bring them kind of at an angle to kind of make that icosahedron around the body, that giant diamond sense like that. So it's kind of your call on that. Some people go one way or the other. The point is to make it really clean, get the poi together, and stuff like that. So that's the top half. The bottom half is the same thing, except for it's a little bit more funky. So we're going to do the same thing while they pendulum in. We're going to go over the arms and forward. We're going to go over the arm forward and back in. Right? So while they're penduluming, over the top of your arms, straight out in front of you, and we're going to flip them up and over and down to this neutral point here at the center of our body. To go to the other side, you're going to flip them back out, stall forward, and then back over your arms. So you should go drill this with one arm or both arms to get comfortable with this stalling mechanism of from the right side forward, in and down, up, out, to the left. So this is the point where you need to be comfortable with this a lot. These stall points forward are kind of funky, they're kind of weird, they're kind of fun. So from the side, what that looks like. Either side, doesn't matter where you want to start. Over the top, out, down, back out, over the top. Cool. Go drill that for a little while and get comfortable with the idea of that. So when you come back and you're ready to play, we're going to put it together. Now, the way I put it together, I don't really break it into half. You know, I kind of try to do one pass over the top half of it, and then return to my left side, going the bottom half and stalling in. Or same thing on the opposite side, sort of on the left side, go to the bottom point, and then return to the opposite side from the right point up top. So we're going to do that together as a whole now, in together time. So I'm going to go from my right side to my left side, just the top, right? So pendulum, in, over, back out. So this is what it looks like all together. Basically will be a very fun and very technical stall point drill for you. Mixing those up, which ones are on the bottom, which one's on top, will give you a little variation. And I can't stress enough, pay attention to the points where the poi are together, either out here, or if they're out to the side of the top of arms here. Those are great transition points for a ton of different patterns in split off, and a lot of patterns in same time or split time too. So just pay attention to those spots when you drill long term. So, let's get to the fun part. The fun part is going to be doing it in quarter time. So we're just going to do it with one arm for right now. I'm going to start with my right side with my left hand. If you want, shorten your poi up a little bit just so you have a little bit more room. You're not smacking yourself in the face enough, but I at least suggest practicing this with long poi, full length. It's much more interesting. So, what I'm going to do here is exactly what we were doing before. It's just going to go over and up and back to the other side. That's one arm. That's the top. And then same thing, down, out, and over is the bottom. But we're going to do that in quarter time. So, left hand's going to make the first move. Left hand goes out, over, stop here. So play with this idea here of them in quarter time, going left arm out, and then you notice how now they're in the same time. Yeah? And then if you follow the right hand with it as well, it puts it back into quarter time. Same thing, fall it over, right hand over, quarter time. So each arm is individually going over the top of the arm, back up to the other side. So it's just that top part we're practicing, but you're going to do it in quarter time. So same thing from the left side. In quarter time, pendulum makes magic. And my right hand's going to be the first. It's going to go over and up. Together, over, quarter time. Over, same time. Over, quarter time. So this is what it looks like when you do it in quarter time. I will say the important part is right here. Because when you're stalling in quarter time, either when they're coming together at this point here or on the sides, you're going to have almost a stall. What that stall is this. So that's where they're going to stall. So if you want, play in quarter time and just come over the top of your arms, stall the other side, stall the other side, stall the other side, stall the other side. You get the point. This is another variation for you. So I will say something about quarter time and working with these points. I'm tall, relatively. Try not to use your hands at your full extent up here, you know. Don't kind of push yourself out and forward. Try and keep it like about chest level when you're doing the plane breaking. The only difference you'll have to make is a slight gap or bend in your arm when you're doing these plane breaks to give a space for the poi to move across itself. So yeah. So if you want, there's a variation for you. Start at quarter time. Go over, up, over, over. Then come back across horizontally and stall. And go back to the same side. And then play around with that back and forth and that stall. And starting it up on the opposite side. So yeah, cool. So there's the top half in quarter time. The bottom half is a little trickier because you have the really grindy stall points that are out and away from you and back. So if you know these, drill them. If you don't know them, drill them a lot. Even from the side, they're kind of weird. I'm just taking it from a neutral position in front of my body, installing it straight out. That's it. And that's the same thing. You can drill these to the side together if you want. You can drill them forward together if you want, or individually if you want. I suggest highly drilling them individually back and forth, like almost if you're playing tag or something along those lines, just so you can get that muscle memory built up inseparably rather than together. So the bottom part, start quarter time. My right hand is going to go over, out, and down, and stop. My left hand's over, out, and down. This is the fun part where they start again. So my right hand's going to go up, over, back into quarter time. Left hand's going to go out, up, over, back into quarter time. It's the same thing from the opposite direction. Left hand's going to go over, out, and down. Right hand's going to go over, out, and down. Left hand's going to go up and out and over. Right hand's going to follow that. So they're chasing each other through this pattern. And there you go. So that's the bottom, and that's the top. Then after you get those both down really well, just drill like passing them from side to side, left to right, up and down. There's also some other fun variations you can do in this when you play with the skull points at the top and bottom, which are like the plane shifts that go up and in and out of wall plane and rear plane, back and forth. If you play with those ideas, you can also come into this other really neat, like, I don't know if it's quarter time 3D or if it's a stacking pattern, but I'll throw this in here for you too. It's the same thing, starting at quarter time, but we're going to go up and then all the way down, up, all the way down, back up and over, back up and over. So this looks like this. So this is fun, and I love it because it utilizes something I very rarely see, which is this center path in the middle of the body, like this space here, that can be used a lot for different stall points and plane changes a lot. And it's really kind of fun to play with. So, yeah, there you go. There's a quarter time 3D with a variation, a lot of ideas to break off from that. Have fun.